when it comes to fuel for small engines, the biggest change that's happened over the last 15, 20 years is the installation of ethanol in our gasoline pretty much everywhere. I mean, is there anywhere that we can go and get ethanol-free gasoline anymore?
Oh, sure. You can actually buy it, in a can. It's called True Fuel.
Like this guy?
Yes.
So
that's one of your brands as far as...
Yep. So this is ethanol-free.
Yep.
It says no ethanol right on it. It's not cheap.
No.
But it's
a little bit more expensive.
Ethanol-free and going to cause less gumming up in your carburetors and things like that, right?
Yep. And it actually comes in a mix, too. This is just a 4-cycle. And then you also have a 50-to-1. And that's for your 2-cycle engines.
Yeah. Now, if an engine says it's supposed to run on 40-to-1 and you put in 50-to-1, is it going to make a difference?
Yeah, you could burn it up.
You could, really?
Mm-hmm.
Because 50-to-1 is thinner on the oil side.
Correct.
So if it said use 50-to-1 and you put in 40-to-1, you're probably going to be okay.
You'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You should be fine.
So if you're going to buy the 40-to-1 is like a bluish green can, I think.
Correct.
Or whatever. So if you don't know which, but yours have a 2-cycle equipment, buy the 40-to-1 mix and you're probably going to be okay.
You'll be okay. It'll smoke a little bit more just because you have more oil in it.
Yep. But it'll still run. It'll still be lubricated.
Fun.
Yeah. Where if you go the other way, this doesn't have as much oil in it and may not be lubricating it well enough. And you could burn up your chainsaw, whatever you're putting it in.
Correct.
Stuff. So yeah. Now as far as the canned fuels, they last longer than gas station fuel. Correct.
Yep.
What's the average life expectancy of gas station fuel? 6 months, maybe?
No,
not even.
No, I would. It actually starts to break down after 5 to 6 weeks. So
really,
yeah.
Okay.
If you do have that gas and you don't have oil in it, you could put it in your vehicle.
Yeah,
and then it'll mix in with your gas in the tank.
And your car engine can handle that.
Yeah. Your car engine will handle it fine.
Yep. Otherwise, your small engines really like fresh gas.
Fresher the better. 92% octane is great.
What now? When you get into there's what's the oil company over there in Slinger? They sell race fuel. Like you can go in there and buy a can like this of race fuel. Is that even better? Because it's like 96 octane or whatever it is, or 97.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, the higher the octane, the better for the small engines.
The cleaner the fuel is then.
Correct.
Too. Okay. All right, cool. And then these cans, you guys, you can buy them just about anywhere. I mean, they have them at the Ace. They have them at the Menards and the Home Depots and everything.
Yeah, all the box stores have it.
They do have a date on them, though, which is how important is the date on these guys when you go to buy them?
It's pretty important. I mean, you should try to use it by that expiration date, I guess is what it is.
But it's still going to last a lot longer.
It'll still be okay after that expiration date, but you got to use it fairly quickly.
Yeah, you don't want to let it sit there forever.
Correct.
And then if you do buy the oil mix, it does separate eventually, so you got to shake it up a little bit. Yep, shake it up, tip it upside down, rock it around. If it's been sitting there for a while, it can kind of separate a little bit. So you want to mix that all up. The main thing to understand with when it says 50-to-1 or 40-to-1 is that is the mixture of fuel to oil.
And that'll be labeled right on the top of the fuel cap whatever small unit you have.
Yeah, so like if you have a backpack blower, it'll be on the little orange cap that you take off and stuff like that. Sure, yeah. Now, as far as the ethanol that's in fuel, you said it's basically like corn syrup.
Pretty much. That's what they're doing.
And they're trying to constantly trying to push to put more and more ethanol into our fuel.
Yep.
And the corn farmers love that because then they get subsidies and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But it's really not good for our small engines. It's not good. I mean, you hear about the snowmobile guys who were probably the loudest. I mean, when they did the ethanol thing, the snowmobile guys were the loudest about the whole thing, about how it's destroying their machines and stuff. And I guess some people are like, is that really true, or is it an old wives' tale? And I think it has an element of truth to it. Yeah. Can ethanol run through an engine? Yes, but then you need to take extra maintenance steps in cleaning that engine and all that kind of stuff that you wouldn't have had to do had you not had ethanol in it. Right.
Yep.
When it comes to E85, I mean, other than in your car, I don't think that's anything you should mess with.
No, try not to use that at all.
Yeah. When you go to the E85, most of the gas stations like Quick Trip and stuff have the E85 and stuff.
Yep.
But that's only for such a few vehicles out there, that actually are made
just
to
a
use
handful.
That. Yeah. But
for your small engines, please.
Yeah, avoid it.
Avoid
it's a dollar cheaper, okay? And I live with a cheapskate, okay? So I know how that goes. But saving $1 on that fuel could cost you hundreds of dollars in repairs. E85 fuel is only for a couple of cars or vehicles out there. It
Just
should never,
no.
never use it in a small engine. Never put it in your string trimmer. Never put it in your lawnmower. None of that. It's just got extra ethanol in it, so it's got extra corn syrup in it, which will gum up your engine and cause problems. And there is ways to clean it, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, and
it gets into everything.
Yeah.
I mean it's
terrible. I can't see, even if you use those the ethanol cleaners and stuff, I can't see it getting it completely clean in there. I mean,
no, you're probably never going to get it all out of there.
Yeah.
Once it's in it.
Once you burn it, it's got there's some sugars in there too that can adhere to the walls of the piston rings and all that kind of jazz. So, yeah, something I'd avoid.
Kind of eats away at the O-rings inside the.
Oh, really?
Carburetors.
Dries them out, or
a little bit of
corrodes
both.
them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you can go to there are some gas stations where they'll sell ethanol-free gas, but you got to usually go out in the sticks to find.
Yeah, you got to
guys,
find. Right? In the outskirts.
Yeah, and sometimes it's also more expensive because
it always will be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
So is the best fuel to use the cans?
Yeah, but I mean that's really expensive compared to your regular fuels. Just try to get your premium gas, from the gas stations. If you're going to buy it from yeah.
And like maybe at the end of the season when you're going to winterize your lawnmower,
that would be great to use some of true fuel
because it's going to sit. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's going to sit.
You always want to run it dry at the end of the season.
Okay, that was the discussion we were going to have. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And running it dry at the end of the season really cleans out all that fuel out of there, but you still have some sitting in there, right?
A little bit, yes. Yeah. That's why you want to add a little bit of fuel stabilizer to your gas before you store it.
That's called a lead-in, people. Russ, he committed a lead-in all on his own without even having to be taught. So one of the next things we're talking about is fuel stabilizer. So I just swung into Menards and grabbed a couple of things that I could grab real quick.
Sure.
So we had something on the table to talk about. These are all different fuel stabilizers that you could readily pick up at your big box store, that kind of stuff.
Any of them. Yeah, all the stores handle this stuff.
Your lawnmower, which one's going in?
I use Seafoam myself.
Seafoam.
Yep.
So Seafoam is something that we use on all of our ATVs up north and stuff. It holds up really. It's really good for low temperatures and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I use it in my boat, especially for the winter.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that burnout when you first start up the machine or anything like that. You don't get any of that. Like if you put stable in, you're going to get some dark smoke and some puttering and stuff like that.
It's got to work its way through there.
Yeah,
it doesn't mix as well as the Seafoam or that one there.
True. This one.
Yep.
This is a
StarTran
enzyme.
Yeah.
This is newer to the market. I mean, but
that's a good product too.
Yeah, all the guys
I have used that in a few things, and it's a good product also.
Sure. All the guys at the ATV shop and stuff, this is what they're saying for your ATVs and motorcycles and all that kind of stuff. And it's supposedly just a cap full of it. I'm like, wow, that's
same thing with your Seafoam. Couple capfuls per gallon is kind of the recommended amount that you want to put in.
Dosage, yeah. And then as far as this one is more of a claims to clean better, but ethanol shield. I don't know if it really does anything more than any of the others.
It's more of a oil kind of base, and it kind of coats everything.
Oh, okay.
A little more.
Sure.
And then your ethanol stuff isn't supposed to stick to your inner parts and
surface.
Stuff. Yeah.
Sure. So fuel stabilizer is a great thing. Question on the thing there. What was the hardest small engine to repair? Probably the tinier the harder, right?
No, I mean, I got into a few of the boat motors where they actually, the older ones, I don't work on any of the computerized ones they have, but the smaller, older boat motors and stuff, that was probably the hardest one I ever had to work on was a 3-cylinder outboard.
Yeah. Well, and they cram it into such a tiny compartment,
Yep. And the carburetors are all, really tight and that was one of the hardest ones I had to ever fix. So.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with what Russ does, you guys, is understand that all the small engines have basically the same parts. They look different. They're different sizes, but they're basically the same parts. So as long as you can learn how to work on one, you can learn how to work on other ones. And if you are at all mechanically inclined, you have any interest in starting a business for yourself or being your own boss and determine what days you work or don't work, okay, and you want to make some good money doing it, get a hold of the mobile repair guys. They are looking currently for franchisees, and where you would be running your own show, okay, and basically operate under their flagship, okay. Yeah, the other way, if you don't want to operate a business, you don't want to get into being a business owner, okay, they also would be looking at taking on employees right now. They're crazy busy. A lot of the small engine repair shops and things like that are closing these days.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of the area shops have closed just recently, and unfortunately, there's just no place to take this stuff.
Yeah,
and we're getting calls.
Thankfully, you don't have to take it anywhere.
Right,
the guys will come to you, baby. That's the way the mobile repair guys work. But yeah, if you're at all interested in getting into that field, or you're mechanically inclined and want to be your own boss and stuff, Russ will take you under the wing.
Call.
Yeah, he'll take you under the wing. He'll teach you the ways of the world, and teach you how to repair small. I mean, even if you don't know how to fix small engines, but you're mechanically inclined.
Yeah, we're looking for just anybody to that wants to learn to come on board and. The way that works is you get to ride with me for a day and see if you want to do this for a living. And I'll teach you everything you need to know about running a business if you want to go that route as far as being a franchisee. And just the opportunity is there for you.
Yeah, and the franchisee thing, you basically turnkey. You guys give them all the equipment, all the stuff, all set up for you, all ready to go. You got all the
most of the
software
guys,
and everything.
Yeah, most of the territories that I sell, you're going to start with a customer base already built into it.
Yeah,
most of the guys are starting with at least 500 to 600 customers day one.
Already working,
already up and running. Yeah. I've been doing this around here, that long that we have territories available right now. That I could stick you into, and you'll be up and running in business, making money your first day.
And it might be in your backyard. Who knows?
Oh, I want you to be close to your territory. That's kind of the way it's set up.
Yeah, so you don't have to drive as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got a guy in Germantown now, and he travels about 15 minutes from his house.
Yeah, that's ideal. That's ideal. A 15-minute commute. Woo.
Yep.
There you go. Perfect. As far as octane, we have talked about that a little bit briefly. That with octane, you always want to try to buy the higher the octane you can get, the better it is for your small engines. And the higher the octane, I think it lasts a little longer too, because it's just a cleaner, more refined fuel.
Yeah.
Right? So it lasts a little bit longer as far as lifespan. Race fuels are just the higher octane. When I mentioned that, you guys, you can go out and you can buy cans of race fuel if you want. It's just a higher octane. There is no fuel that you can go and buy that's going to last forever. Okay, it's nothing that you preppers out there, and I know who you are. I'm kind of a little bit of one of them myself, but I have been on the hunt for what fuel is going to last the longest and what fuel can I stabilize to last the longest. But ultimately, what you're looking at is probably a year lifespan on the cleanest fuel, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want it to last or sit any longer than that.
Yeah,
I mean, there again, like I said, if you do have it sitting in a can, try to rotate that through, pour it in your car and get some fresh stuff for your small engines.
Yep.
Is the best thing.
The car is designed to handle that.
It's going to mix in with your gas that you have.
And you're never going to notice a difference.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. By pouring just 5 gallons in there or whatever you got. So as far as fuel stabilizers, we talked about that. Seafoam is mine and Russ's suggestion if you're looking to just stabilize your fuel for the winter and stuff like that. These aren't things that you use all the time, right? These are only things you use when you're not going to be using the equipment for a period of time, right? Or is it good to use it for cleaning?
You can add, like the Seafoam and stuff, you can add that all year long if you'd like to.
Is it going to help? Is it going to help the engine?
It will keep it cleaner.
Oh, okay.
It's got a cleaner additive right in it, and it does stabilize your fuel.
Is there any additives
for a little longer longevity of your gas? Then it'll last a little longer.
Is there any additives that are crucial, like things that we should all be putting in our fuel to help keep our engine running better?
Well, I mean, there again, your small engines, if you're running them all the time, more often, then there's really nothing that you have to add to it.
Yeah.
You're running your fuel through it, and that should keep it clean.
That'll help clean it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So all those additives that you can go to the hardware store and buy, you guys, you can buy a can of Seafoam. Okay? That's the way to go. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, you guys. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to know when we put out the next one, give me a bell notification. It's a little bell on the bottom right-hand side. And subscribe. You want to know when I'm coming out with new stuff or whatever. You want to be able to check us out and be alerted to new video content coming your way. Subscribe button's really the way to go. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. Remember, the better you take care of your house, better it's going to take care of you. Have a good one.